Truth is making a comeback. America's Top Stories with Lisa K. Donner.
Quote, Wall Street may be in the throes of the biggest meltdown since the stainless steel Lehman Brothers sign came down in 2008 at the start of one of this country's most perilous economic times, unquote. So writes Sarah Cowgill of LibertyNation.com, and she goes on, quote, yes, it's official. Representative Mad Maxine, Democrat from California, is taking the reins of the ultra-powerful House Financial Services Committee, a position of authority and jurisdiction over America's banking system, economy, housing, and insurance. Joining us today is Sarah. Hi, Sarah. How's it going out in flyover country?
Hi, Lisa.
How's the weather?
Cold and snowy in the middle of the country, and I'm in the middle of that.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that. So I won't go on about the fact that it's 75 and sunny here in Florida.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So we have Mad Maxine in charge of the moolah. Let's talk about this a little bit. This sounds very frightening.
What could possibly go wrong? Putting Mad Maxine in charge of the Finance Committee, I mean, just the thought of that makes me sick. She's morally corrupt, and her financial dealings for her campaigns and for her husband and for everything personal to do with Maxine's own pocket is ethically immoral.
You're right, but let's dig in a little bit for our viewers. Historically, what are some of Mad Maxine's money problems, personally and professionally?
Well, back during the 2012 bailout, she funneled a bunch of money to a bank, One United, that would never, ever have been listed as a bailout candidate, simply because their lending practices were always horrid, and, basically victimizing the poorest sector of the country. Well, that bank was also her husband's bank, and she sat on the board of that bank, and she funneled at least $12 million to that bank, and none of the banking customers are ever going to see a dime of that. They haven't yet.
But Sarah, the question is, how is she getting away with this? What about the House Ethics Committee?
She's been under fire from the House Ethics Committee, and nothing sticks. Judicial Watch, a watchdog group, they have been after her for years. And I mean, they've got laundry lists that just will blow your mind if you're so inclined to look up Mad Max. But nothing seems to come of it. I don't know if the Democrats just love her and want to save her because she's got the biggest, rudest mouth in town and they need somebody like that, or because she's 80 and she's insane and they just want her to, go out on a high note. I don't know why she has the staying power that she does.
So you're saying she's pretty slippery and fast and loose with her financial dealings.
Oh my goodness, she sold her endorsements to get under the radar of the political financial laws. She sold her endorsements. Kamala Harris paid her $25,000 to slap her name all over Maxine Waters' direct mailers. I mean, it's unbelievable what she gets away with.
All right, yeah, so I know you mentioned that she may be out for revenge. What's that going to look like now that she's head of the House Financial Services Committee?
It's going to look like every other Democrat right now on Capitol Hill, just trying to screw President Trump any way they can. And, I don't know if he's done anything wrong, but it's not Mad Maxine's job. That's Robert Mueller's job.
Now that Ms. Waters is in a position of real power, what might be some of the things that she's going to do to mess things up in this committee position?
All she has to, she doesn't even have to use her brain. She's going to subpoena. She's for sure targeting Wells Fargo, and she's for sure targeting Deutsche Bank. Those are already on her radar. She's made it quite clear in every speaking engagement, in every speech. She's going after anything that she can find associated with improper lending practices and President Trump.
Well, she also has some pretty hinky associations of her own, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that true?
Oh, yeah. Mad Max, her best friend is a Black Panther cop killer who's been on the lam since 1979 after being convicted of said assassination. And this person lives in Cuba, and Mad Max visits her multiple times a year. Multiple times.
Wow.
I mean, I think she's insane. Maybe she's not insane. Maybe she's not clinically insane, but she advocates for violence. She advocates for people who commit violence. She's a dingbat, but she's a criminal dingbat. And the criminal part of it, I can't understand why she's, even allowed her position. I think she needs to be out of Congress.
Seems to me like you're pretty clear on Mad Max. Just spitballing here, but you're not a fan?
Gee, I don't really like her.
I wouldn't have guessed.
No, I just don't know how to upend what's happened. I don't know how to upend it, and I don't know how the American people can. But they've got to be worried. They need to be worried, and they need to keep an eye on it, what happens, what she does, and who she goes after in this position.
All right, fair enough. Thank you very much. Sarah Cowgill, one of our amazing national correspondents. Read her fine articles on libertynation.com. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.
Truth is making a comeback. Visit us at libertynation.com.